Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, depending on where you're listening from or when you're listening to this. My name is Kamel Rule, and this is the Golden Rule. Thank you for tuning in to the second episode. This episode is titled Love. If you have made it to the second episode, I love you. If you haven't, I love you as well. Because you may have not made it to the second episode because you just haven't gotten around to it. This is a message waiting for you. Thank you. You might not have gotten around to the second episode because you heard the first episode and you're like, man, this is some bullshit. I don't want to listen to this guy anymore. I also thank you for being honest with your opinion because I love honesty. You probably won't get this message if you're that second person I described, because then you didn't listen to this. So then, you wouldn't get this message. But through energy and maybe astrology and spiritual happenings in the world, if you believe in that stuff, you may still get this message. Like one day you may be walking down the street and you may see a billboard with my face on it. And I'm like pointing. And you feel like I'm pointing at you, and you'll be like, damn, I should have listened to that second episode. I knew this was going to happen. And then you turn around and listen to this second episode. And yes, this message is still waiting for you. So again, thank you. I want to shout out the sponsors first. Shout out to coffee, Trader Joe's Coffee, my sponsor. I'm drinking that currently. Shout out to Trader Joe's Spring Water, like always, staying hydrated. Shout out to Apple. Shout out to AKG, this microphone. Shout out to Volt, my interface. That is the technology that is powering this podcast. Shout out to my Free Will, which is a sponsor. Me choosing to do this. Shout out to Coinbase, crypto. We love crypto and Coinbase because how else are we going to do this without funds? Also, shout out to Golden One. Shout out to my job. All sponsors. Thank you so much. I could even say shout out to my mom and dad. Those are the original sponsors because if they never created me, I wouldn't be here doing this right now. Shout out to your mom and dad because if they never created you, you wouldn't be here listening to me right now. So tight, right? So shout out to all these things. So we'll start with a movie that I love. Again, like I said, this episode is titled Love. A movie I love, The Matrix. Have you ever seen it? If not, I suggest you watch it. You don't have to. You could do whatever you want to do. But I think this movie is very beneficial. Some call it a documentary. Some people say the Matrix is real. We're living in it right now. I believe that to be so. Not as much as, it's a direct mirror of the movie. But, I believe the main points are real. So, how does this connect? The second episode. Sorry. You could see it as an episode. The second movie, The Matrix Reloaded. Love that one. There's a scene in it. What happens? Neo is caught in a subway between two different worlds, two different dimensions. He can't get out until he gets freed by his love, Trinity. Shout out to Trinity. In this scene, he meets the last exile. She's just talking to him like little kids talk. Her dad is there. Her dad is a computer program. He starts having a conversation with Neo. Neo's having a conversation with this computer program, just like it's everyday life, just like he's talking to a real human being. Crazy. They get into it, like in a good way. They get deeply into it. And the computer program starts explaining to Neo why he is doing what he's doing. He's doing this because he loves his daughter. At this moment, Neo is super confused. He's like, The computer program is like, I see you're confused because you've never heard of computer programs speak of love. Neo goes, nah, it's a human emotion. The computer program in return goes, nah, son, it's a word. And what matters is the connection that word implies, the actions that follow from that word. And I was like, ooh, son, that's super real. That's real deepness. That's really not even that deep. It's really simple. But sometimes we skip from A to C, jumping over B, when B is where the real work is done. So I'm going to leave that with you. Think about that. I'm not leaving this episode right now. No, I'm just leaving that piece of information with you before we get into this episode. So yes, I love being alive. I wake up in the morning and I am grateful to see another day. I love being able to think. I love being able to learn. I love being able to act. I love being able to love and decipher what love even means to me and what actions I need to, move forward with to prove that I love somebody or someone. I love football. When I say football, I mean soccer. I love basketball. That's what I grew up playing. I love running. Those are two sports where I can run freely. I love feeling free. I love going on vacation because that's where I feel the most free with no schedule. I love talking to people, even if, they aren't the greatest talks. I feel like I can always learn something from someone, whether, talking to this person is helping me or, talking to this person could be hindering me. Ultimately, I don't see it as a hindrance because I see bad things as really good things. I see everything as an opportunity, not an obstacle. Yes. So, how do you feel about love? What is your definition? How do you think that pairs with the golden rule? The golden rule of either treating people how you want to be treated or treating people how they treat you. My first experiences with love were seeing my parents. When I was young, one of my first memories was seeing my mom and my dad. Pretty simple, right? I'm alive. I see a man. He kind of looks like me, I think. And then I see a woman. She kind of looks like me, I think. And they're together. They're in love. They haven't really explained to me, their love or how they created me. I just saw them. And I'm a little kid just, running around seeing my mom and my dad. I'm hearing music. They're playing music. They're cooking while they're playing music. They take me and my sister to San Diego, one of my earliest memories. Then they take me and my sister to Las Vegas. I'm like, ooh, this is so tight. Thanks, Dad. I love you. Not even truly knowing what I mean by that. But it's just, something I say because I've heard the word before. I love you. I never thought to say, I hate you. Why? Because I didn't feel that way. I didn't even know what that meant at the time. I had a girlfriend in first grade. Why was she my girlfriend? I loved the way that she looked. We weren't doing things like, going on trips, planning marriage, planning children. Hell, we didn't even go on dates. Our dates were at school. What did we do? We would line up together and hold hands. Why did we do that? I don't know. Probably because we liked how each other looked. And we saw people do it, like our parents or people on TV, We never had deep discussions about, hey, yo, this is where I see us in 10 years, baby. No. Why? Because it was first grade. That's hella funny. It was very simple love. You might not even call it love. You might call it lust. I don't know. I guess it's an umbrella, love and everything under that umbrella that trickles down. So, the golden rule. I see this a lot in relationships. Giving that same energy. That is something I can do. I was going to say I cannot do, but that would be a lie. One thing I also love is the truth. So circling back to that, if I say I cannot do that, that would be a lie, because I can easily return that same energy, but I don't want to do that, right? Say in a relationship these days, I'm speaking from current times. We will go back to things that I've done, but we're talking about current times. If I get disrespected in a relationship, or even in real life, real life is in a relationship, but you know what I'm saying? Like at the grocery store, in everyday life is what I meant. If I get disrespected, I will not return that same energy. The energy I return is just, vacating the situation. And some people may see that as, oh, you're running away from conflict. I don't see it that way. I don't get really stressed out by disrespectful actions. And I know that returning disrespectful actions could lead to a whole nother level of disrespect, like physical fighting, or, something that can lead us to a place that we can't return from. Somebody may be going to jail. I don't want to get there. I think of consequences. Sue me. Sue me for thinking of consequences in situations. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry for doing that. And I love that about myself. I love being able to stay calm under turmoil. How can you do this? Is it a superpower? I don't think so. Because I've been angry before. I've been disrespectful before. I feel like I've been uncontrollable before, and uncontrollable by myself, just lashing out and not speaking to myself in positive ways and staying calm. So yes, it took me a lot of anger and a lot of terrible experience to get to this point. I've always wanted to be this person. And off top, I've always been naturally this person. But, as we grow, we get into things. Example, when I was young, all I used to wear was like polo and Izod and fitting clothing, proper fitting clothing. And then I grew up. And then what did I want to try? Big ass baggy clothing. Why? Because I saw it on TV and I was like, ooh, that's super cool. I want to try that. It looks nice. Let's buy some. Let me buy an extra, extra, extra large jersey and wear it, even though I know this is hella big. And like everything, it's kind of a cycle. What did I get back to? Fitting clothing. Nothing too tight, because that's pretty unhealthy. But yeah, back to where, I naturally was. I've always been a nice guy. And don't let anybody tell you that being a nice guy is wrong or, non-masculine or weak or whatever. Because you can be strong and nice. It is possible. Those things can coexist. You can be dominant and nice. You can be... I already said what I said. I'm thinking of new words to say the same thing. Always think about that. Sometimes I'm like, man, who created synonyms? So there was words, and then somebody went down the line. I was like, hey, let me create a new word that sounds a little bit better, but means the same thing, just to add some extra words. Shout out to vocabularies. Love those. A math teacher. Shout out to Miss Ross. She was my math teacher at SMC, Santa Monica College, when I lived in LA. She once said, I remember this vividly, she was like, people that cuss a lot have weak vocabularies, because they can't think of other words to say. So they just fill those, gaps with curse words. And I was like, dang, that's super real. So shout out to our teachers in life for teaching us through all these experiences and things. So as we connect back to the golden rule and in relationships, this is coming from a man's standpoint. Me treating my girlfriend, love interest, future wife, future mother of kids. Me, how I treat her doesn't really have to do with how I want to be treated. Just thinking about it. Because I put my love interest above myself in a healthy way as I've grown. I'm 36 years old, right? You may think, damn, that's terrible. Don't do that. People say, don't put your love above yourself. That's a terrible way to do it. It is. When you haven't made anything of yourself and you're only investing in your relationship. It's terrible, especially as a young person. 10 out of 10 recommend not to do that. What I mean is, like, if I'm deeply in love, I will think about you a lot. Very simple. I'm thinking about you. I'm going somewhere. I should buy, insert name here, this. I told insert name here that I was going to be home at 10 o'clock and I'm probably going to be at home at like 11. I should just text her and tell her. Super simple, right? I know that insert name here likes surprises. I should keep surprises on deck. I should keep surprising myself in return to surprise her and keep building this thing. Every day is not going to be a surprise, but also every day is not going to be the same. So I could mix it up. You know what I'm saying? So now, if this person is treating me disrespectfully, I will not return that energy. If this person is treating me beautifully, I would be returning that energy because that's what I'm doing initially. So, yes, I would be treating this person how they treat me. If it's beautiful, if it's beneficial, if it's progressive. I will not be treating this person how they treat me if it does not benefit me, if it sucks energy, if we're moving backwards. Why would we want to do that? Why would I even engage in returning negative energy, non-beneficial energy? I feel like that would be doing myself a disservice. Why would I do that? How did I get to this point? Because I asked myself these questions. You know, I feel like asking yourself questions is the greatest thing you can do because it's like pre-therapy. Yes, I believe that therapy is good. I've never seen a therapist. I see myself as my own therapist. Why? Because through experiences with my parents, experiences with girlfriends, experiences with friends, experiences on vacation, experiences at work, and experiences at school, any kind of different experiences you can think of, I think of how to reason with myself. That I should, pose questions to myself and then pose questions to those questions and then pose so many questions to where I can't even ask myself any more questions. I would think like, what would a therapist ask me? And the difference between a therapist is, that they're a person that doesn't know me. They're supposed to be seen as completely unbiased. Do you believe that you can be completely unbiased about your decisions? Or does love cloud those things? Love clouds feelings to where you can't be completely unbiased. And that's why I need to go talk to somebody else. That's why I asked K-Mel for advice. That's why I'm listening to his podcast right now. That's hella funny. Could be true. So, love. Has this talk changed your mind about it in any way? Has it made you think more about it? Has it made you ask different questions about it? I once made a quote, because when you make a tweet, you're really making a quote. It says, I am in love, but not with a noun, like a person, place, or thing. I am simply in love. Because I feel like if you approach things with a loving attitude, you can only blossom from there. And you could say, I could approach things with a hateful attitude, which will just turn over to love, the opposite. I feel like that would be harder, because if I'm already approaching something with a hateful attitude or a negativity, I can easily be more negative, be more hateful. I'm going to be more closed off to it initially. Yeah. So we talked about this last time, and I talked about objectiveness and subjectiveness. Objectiveness is not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. So, the world exists. That is an objective fact. If I die right now, the world will still exist. It's not influenced by my personal feelings. Subjectivity, based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, and opinions. She is the baddest girl I've ever seen in my life. That is a personal feeling. Now, the cool thing about this is that I will make my girlfriend believe that is an objective belief, right? Because I pour so much into that belief that she's going to believe that that's an objective feeling, that's the truth, even if I'm not here. And I believe that to be true too. Why? Because I'm not just going to do or say things that I don't believe. That seems weird to me. Not going to just say things or do things that I'm not going to pursue fully, with like full passion or full love. I love speaking and understanding. I love conversing with people. So if you have, comments, maybe criticism, anything that you could say to me that, we could share some understanding, grow some understanding with anything I have said. Like I said, holler at me. It would be great. Like I said, these episodes are not meant to take up so much of your time. I want to keep them at 30 minutes. We can talk longer because there's so much stuff to just talk about. We can go on tangents for hours, but I really do not want you to spend an hour listening to me. Your time should be precious. You should love your time. And if you're doing something, have full focus. You don't need to listen to me for an hour. But in this 30 minutes, I hope this 30 minutes was very huge to you. Hopefully it made you think about a situation in your life and how you could approach it. Maybe it made you think about, your love interest or your current relationship and think about how you could tackle things differently. Or you're like, man, you know what? I am on the right track. I've been doing everything I knew I should do, even though, I might have been questioning it or people might have been questioning my actions. But nah, after I thought about this and asked myself the questions and asked myself more questions, I believe and am in love with what I am doing. And I don't think it's wrong, objectively or subjectively. So yes, we will get into more things going forward. I thank you and and am in love with you listening to this. Thank you so much. This will be our cool down session. So like I said, your mind will be speaking to you right now. This is your mind speaking to you. We are shutting off the outside world currently. I need you to calm down. And in that calm, you will find your passion for what you love and what you believe in, for what is respectful and what is right. You will not return negative energy because people want you to react. Negative people want to drag you down to their level. Negative people want the world to be negative like them. Don't give in to it. Stay being a great person. People respect that. People trust that. People love that. If you believe in your righteousness, don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong or weak. You know what? Let people tell you that. Even that's even better. Because you know what negative people hate is when they try to spread their negativity to you and then you just smile in their face and give them a head nod or a peace sign. Again, this is your mind speaking to you. The next time you're on the road and somebody flips you off for something that wasn't even your fault or something that was an accident, give them a thumbs up and a smile. It's up to them for how they're going to receive that. They might give you another middle finger. Or they might be like, damn, this person, took this situation so stress-freely that I should probably calm down on the road in this thing that is a vehicle, that is really a weapon, that could be really dangerous. I should think about that as opposed to, me rushing on the road to where I think I need to be. This is your mind speaking. Do whatever you want. But I want you to know that you can prolong your life with love and honesty and truth. We do have bad days. Even that nigga K-Mel has bad days. Don't think that his life is perfect and all hunky-dory. Like he said earlier, he sees opportunities, not boundaries. And I want you to remember that. That is the end of our cool down session. This is the end of episode 2 of the Golden Rule, titled Love. I hope you felt a lot of love in this episode. I hope you loved this podcast. I hope for a lot of things. I hope for a perfect world to where I can have 10 kids. In a perfect world, I should be financially stable to do that. Like very financially stable. At work, they joke about me. Because when I first started working there, we were talking about kids, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I want to have 10 kids. They're like, what? That's crazy. I'm like, well, yeah. But like, I'm not just meaning like, yeah, I'm going to start tomorrow. And whatever girl I marry has to be on board with that. It's like, yeah, you have to have my 10 kids. Like, no, that's not how I mean it. Like, I mean other, further things. But, people take things and run with them. I hope you're running today, staying healthy. I hope you got something out of this. And if you got nothing out of this, let me know. I'll give you something more next episode. Coffee is fire. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Golden Rule. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day. God's bless. I say God's because people believe in many. And if you don't believe in God, that's cool too. It's your choice. Shout out to you. Shout out to your ears. Shout out to your senses. Have a good one.